Practicing with backing tracks can literally improve your playing over time 10 to 100 times is better, no exaggeration over time. But what does that mean? Where do you start and how do you do it? I'm going to answer all those questions in today's lesson and give specific examples using a backing track that I created. I believe so much in this that I want you, the learner, to have the tabs and the backing track for today's lesson totally free. If you like that kind of backing track, if you like the PDF, think about becoming a Patreon because that's the kind of stuff you get with every lesson. And let's do it. Grab your ukulele, brain and attention span, follow me on in, and let's break this stuff down. Come on in. Throughout this lesson, we're going to be referencing the D minor scale. So let's go ahead and review that. Second fret of the C string, open E string, first fret, third fret, open A string, first fret, third fret, fifth fret. D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. So working with backing tracks, it's massively important that you know the chord progression. A lot of chord progressions on YouTube will tell you the chords if you look up the backing track in the description or sometimes in the actual footage on YouTube. For example, elevated backing tracks, it shows you both the progression and the current chord that it's on using the images in the video. So the chord progression for our lesson today is going to be one measure of D minor, one measure of F, one measure of B flat, and one measure of C. So that's what we're going to be playing against. So when you're playing, whether that's recording an album, playing with a band, or even playing by yourself, you usually have one of two responsibilities: rhythm or lead. The rhythm can be very intricate and leads can be very basic. Essentially, you play lead when no one's singing, right? The melody and all eyes are on your instrument. And then the rhythm is what you provide and give to the band to create harmony or the foundation for the melody to play over. Both of these aspects can be improved with backing tracks. We're going to look at rhythm first. So with rhythm, you can improve your strumming, your chord shapes, knowing the fretboard, finger picking, double stops, walking bass line, fills, anything that has to do with rhythm, you can improve with backing tracks. And we're going to start with the strumming. So we know the chord progression of our backing track, and we're going to strum with it. The very first step is just to strum on the changes, meaning just to strum a down on the one beat. So, because it's D minor, F, B flat, and C, that's what we're going to do right now. And it would be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give that a go. Okay, just down on the one beat. That's all we're doing right now, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, step 2 would be the actual strumming exercise. You can do down, down, up, down, down, up. You could do down, 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 up, down, anything you want. For this particular exercise, we are actually going to be focusing on the 16th style of strumming. So our strum pattern is going to be just over the D minor. Let's get it down. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up. Now that can be a pretty tricky strum pattern, but it's really common in rock and ballads. So let's take it really slow. I kind of look at it in 3 chunks. First, the down, 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 up. Then just this random up that's by itself. And then the last part is up, down, up, down, up. So it's down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, 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 up, up, down, up, down. Okay, so now let's go ahead and apply that strum pattern to the chord progression before we try it with the backing track. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we are going to play against the backing track. Practice it and feel confident with it before you try it with the backing track. What the backing track is doing is really tightening up your rhythm, making sure you can play with drums, you can play in time, you can play with the band. Okay, so this time when it comes around, we're going to do the 16th strum. Down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, up, down, up, down, up. These lessons, ultimately throughout this, I want you to be able to replicate, but also in your own way, not verbatim, with your own chords, own backing tracks, own strumming patterns. This lesson is trying to teach you how to practice, all right? So what we learn in here, you're going to follow exactly so you can see it, but you need to be able to adapt these exercises to other backing tracks to really take your playing to the next level. Another thing we can do with backing tracks is we can work on our chord shapes. Check this out. We're going to use the same pattern, but we're going to play this D minor 7, 5, 5, 5, 5. Instead of the F, we're going to play the F major 7. Hold that 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 down, and get your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. B flat right there as well. 7, 5, 6, 5. If that bar is too hard, you could play this G shape. If you mute the G string, move it up 2 frets. C chord. All right, so it's going to be down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down. Now, if the 16th notes is too hard for you, you can use these chord shapes in any strum pattern. The idea when you're doing these exercises is that you're using the backing track to help you explore the fretboard and find these new shapes. And anytime you do these new shapes, take a second to find the root note. On our D shape, we have a D note on the 5th fret of the A string. For the F, our F note is the 5th fret of the C. B flat, 6th fret of the E, and the C is the 8th fret of the E. That's how you learn the fretboard, right? And also, that's how you move these chords around. 5th fret of the E is an A note. This is an A chord. So that will help you using these new chords to learn the new chords so you can add variety to your playing, but also to learn the entire fretboard using this method. Okay, so this time when it comes around, we're going to do the 16th strum. Down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. Finger picking. Now with finger picking, you can imagine there is a million different ways that you can practice finger picking with these exercises. This particular backing track that I built is actually just bass and drums, which is great because it leaves a lot of space for us to do these exercises with the ukulele or the guitar or banjo, mandolin, any stringed instrument really. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to bring up the tabs and I'm going to play through it. It sounds like this. and then it would repeat itself. So let's kind of talk about what's going on. The first measure, I make a D minor, thumb, index, thumb, index. 1 and 2 and it's outside inside. G string, E, C, A. And then that pattern is eighth notes, and it just happens 2 times over the D minor. I remove my ring finger. Exact same thing for the F. Exact same thing for the B flat, but I finish on the 4th beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's a little change. Then here we're going to do a C sus for a little change as well. So instead of playing the C, we also get our index finger on the 1st fret of the F. And we play the same pattern. And then we play 1, 0, open C. And this goes from the sus to the C. So it just gives the last measure a little bit of movement. Let's play through it one more time. All right, so let's just go ahead and play through it one more time together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then it would just repeat over and over again. So let's go ahead and put the backing track up and try to play it through the backing track. Okay, this time we're going to do the finger picking, kind of in your head, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here's a more complicated finger picking pattern. It sounds like this. So here is the chance for me to practice finger picking pattern in 16ths. The first measure, I make a D minor and I go thumb, index, thumb, C and the E string, 1 and 2. The third beat is 16th notes. And it's the same pattern we did last time, just 3E and a 4, finishing on the root note. The F is very similar, but you'll notice the first note is not the C string, it's the G string. And we don't finish on the C string, but rather the 1st fret of the E string, which is the F root note. B flat, a little tricky, starting on the root note as well. So that one starts just like the F, but it finishes on the G string. Then lastly is the C. And then lastly is the C. And so the C is interesting. We start just like the D, and we actually, same exact finger picking pattern as the D. 1 and 2, 3E and a 4. But then we play the 1st fret of the C string because that is the note between the C and the D note. So this turns it over back to our D minor. So the C really slow is on the way back to the D minor. So let's play through this nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very, very cool. So let's go ahead and put it to the backing track so you can hear how that little walking bass really turns things over. This time the finger picking is going to be a little more complicated, but practice it before you try to practice it with the backing track, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is a great opportunity for us to introduce the walking bass. The walking bass is when we try to connect these notes with these little riffs that would very much be what a bass player would be playing. If I play through these 4 measures, it sounds like this. Alright, so there's a couple things going on here. I think that this style of playing rhythmically is very underrated for the ukulele. We start off with the D minor, pluck the root note, down, down, down. 1, 2, and 3. 2nd fret. Now, a lot of this vocabulary comes from me knowing the F minor scale. 2, 0, 1, 3. 0, 1, 3, 5. Right? I'm using that in conjunction with my knowledge about the chords. So I'm plucking the bass, 2 and 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scale to tie one root note, the D note, to the other root note, the F note. So I go 2, open, 1. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Now that I'm on the F, it's 2 and 3. But then I don't wait to the 4th beat to start. I go and. So this is a cool riff. It goes E, G, A, B flat. So it's 1, 3, 0, 1. But we take advantage of the open G and we get very, very cool. So we start on the and G on the 4, open A on the and, 3rd fret of the G into the B flat. 2, and then we go 2 and 3 and 4. Make our B flat, 2 and 3 and 4. B flat on the 4th beat to our C on the 1. 1. The only upstroke, because it's 16ths on the 2nd beat, we go 2 E and down, up, down. Then we do this really cool run that turns it over to the D, and it goes 4 E and a 1. Well, 4 E and a, this be 3 E and a 4 and 1. 3rd fret, 1st fret, open. The next note in the scale is the 3rd fret here, which is also my open G. 1st fret, open, 2nd fret. But note the timing, it's 3 E and a 4 and 1. So the whole thing nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and 1. Very cool walking bass technique. So, put it to the back track. Walking bass, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double stops. Another massive concept that could be multiple videos. All these could be multiple videos. I'm really just kind of showing you as many ways as I can to practice with these backing tracks. These come from our chord shapes. So I play the D minor, and instead of playing the whole chord, I'm going to take 2 notes out of it. And for my rhythm, I'm going to go 1 and 2 and. These 2 fingers E, A string. Pull, pull, slap, pull. F. Now you can get double stops from the scale too. These are just coming from the chord. This is an F shape. 5, 5, 5, 3. So 3, 5. This is naturally a double stop. Same rhythm. B flat, 1, 1. Another chord fragment. C chord, 3, 3. So this rhythm is now again, these double stops, you can get these from the scales too, especially if you know your intervals. You can use the second, major third, flat third, fourth, all these cool different intervals. But these just come from the chords. They're double stops built from the chords called chord fragments. If we bring up the next 4 measures, the first 2 are the same. We go back to this B flat shape. We take the double stop from there, which would be 6 and 5. This C shape, 8 and 7. So the second time through is all right, let's put both of those together with the backing track. Double stops. Remember, this is an 8-bar. 4. Okay, fills, again, not even just a lesson. We could do a whole fills challenge, a whole fills course, and we're just showing you how to practice with this backing track with this one. So what we came up with was this. All right, so let's break that down. We start off with the D minor, 1 and 2. We're using the D minor scale, but we're also thinking about the root note. So we 1, 0, 2, and then we hit 2 again on the 4th beat. D note, D minor, 1 and 2, 3, E and 4. F is the same idea. 1, 0, 1, 1, because it's the F note. 1 and 2, 3, E and 4. B flat, 1. Then we're just going to run through the scale, starting on the D note, which is a chord tone of B flat. 2 and 3 and 4. Finishing on the B flat, another chord tone. Then when we go to C, instead of starting on the D, we're going to start on the next note of the scale, which is E, a chord tone of the key of C. 2 and 3 and 4. Finishing on the C, a chord tone of C. So that is how we're using the scale as a tool of a rhythmic piece instead of composing solos with it. So this played really slow is 1 and 2, 3 E and 4, 1 and 2, 3 E and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Let's jump on the backing track. Take your time with this one. All right. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. all of those exercises we've done at this point have been focused on the rhythm, and you can use all of those to improve your rhythm. You can also modify those exercises depending on the backing track and what you're specifically trying to accomplish. You can modify them very, very easily, all right? So don't limit yourself to this backing track. Go out, find another backing track, recreate those exercises. Let's take a look at lead. The first one you can practice is an arpeggio idea. So this is just so you can start to see the chord tones of the chords you're playing over. This could also be considered a rhythmic exercise. We have the arpeggios up. It's a D minor 7, 2, 1, 5, 3, root, minor third, 5th, flat 7. The F, 5, 5, 8, 7, F major 7, root, major third, 5th, 7th interval. The B flat, 6, let's come from this shape, 6, 5, 8, 6, root, major third, 5th, root. Take that arpeggio, move it up 2 frets, and it's a C, 8, 7, 10, 8. Now you use this for a couple of reasons. This exercise is when you're soloing in the scale, and you can mentally place these arpeggios over the scale and see where they overlap. You can target chord tones in your soloing. Chord tones are the note that connect your solo to the chords or to the chord progression. And that's what makes a solo sound melodic. That's what makes a solo connect with it underneath when you find these notes that are both in the scale and in the chord tones. And these arpeggio exercises help you to visualize these notes over the scale. You could also use that as a rhythm though, just so you know. All right, arpeggios, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's talk about root note soloing now, because we're kind of building up to that with this idea. For the first exercise, we're just going to play the root notes every quarter tones. D chord, I'm going to play 4 Ds, F chord, 4 Fs, B flat, 4 B flats, C, 4 Cs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm doing this so when I start to solo, I can see where the scale and the chords overlap. Root note soloing, we are going to go ahead and start with just those root notes, just so we know where they are. 2, 3, 4. Now, again, thinking about the scale that we've been using all day, I'm going to solo, but I'm going to target those chord tones. So over the D, I'm going to target that D note. 1 and a 2 and 3, 4. Second fret of the C string. 1, open, 3, open A. Second fret, 1 and a 2 and 3, 4, finishing right on that root note. Moving on to the F. Three, oh, 3, 3, 3, 1. That's our F note. That's our root note. Using the scale. The F has an A note and a C note. So I'm also targeting other notes that are in the chord. Again, going back to seeing the arpeggios where the scale and the chords overlap. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. B flat. Now, the D minor pentatonic is 2, 1, 3, 1, 3. B flat. Now the D minor pentatonic is 2, 1, 3, 0, 3. It doesn't actually have the B flat note in it. That's something to keep in mind, and that's the difference between the minor pentatonic and the minor scale. A lot of times when soloing, I'm mostly improvising with the minor pentatonic, but I am aware of notes like the B flat. For when the B flat chord comes around, I can leave the minor pentatonic and go into the minor scale. This phrase is going to be 2, 1, 3, 0, 1. 1 and 2 and 3. Then the next phrase you'll see the O is still over the B flat. We're starting early. We're going 0, 1, 3, 1, 3. G, well, open, 1, C7 has a B flat note. B flat, G, B flat, C. All of those notes are in the C7 chord. So we're really trying to use these chord tones, this concept of these chord tones, to make our solo stick to the chord progression more. This whole 4-measure solo, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. All right. Backing track. All right, this time around, we're going to take that to the next level, and we're going to solo, and we're going to target those root notes, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to do this bending and pitch exercise. If you have a soprano, it's probably not going to work. You could feel free to skip this exercise, but I just kind of want to show you how you can use these bending and the backing track to help you hear your bends and pitch. So let's take a look at that. After the F, we have the B flat. Now for the B flat, we want to bend the 6th fret. After the F, we have a B flat. We want to take this note here, this A note, and bend it a half step to this B flat. Then we have the C, where we want to bend that 6th fret up to the 8th fret. What's cool is with the chords underneath, you can really hear the harmony. So let's take a look at that. 2, 3, 4, bend. Good, that one's in pitch. 3, 4. Not bad, a little sharp. Good, in pitch. Good, in pitch. Use those ears. Good. That was the heart. Good. There you go. All right, last one, phrasing I'm literally thinking about writing an entire book on phrasing, but I just want to show you one of the thousands of exercises I use to practice my phrasing. You'll see that I just have the 8th fret of the E string as the first beat of the second measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I have the 3rd fret of the E string, first beat, 4th measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I let that play, if I count it out, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's going on? C note is in an F chord. G note is in a C chord. So I'm improvising here. And what I'm doing is I'm improvising over the D minor, and I'm landing on the 8th fret of the E string on that first beat. Then I'm improvising over the B flat and landing on the 3rd fret of the C on that first beat. This is a way for me to kind of know already how I'm going to finish, but then improvise. And what I'm doing is, the most important note in your phrase is the last note. So I'm predetermining that, and I'm moving this around the fretboard. I would recreate this exercise, and I would find different, chord tones. F, I'd find F notes, and I do this over the D minor as well and the B flat. And I'm improvising, but I know where I'm going to land. So I've already have the color and the emotion of the lick predetermined by knowing how it's going to resolve, but I'm still improvising the lick. This is a great, great way for you to practice your phrasing. It's like this predetermined ending, but you're just soloing through it. And then you can kind of think about these as like your spots on the floor. When you see people play basketball, they say he gets to his spots, meaning he runs to certain spots where he can shoot the ball. He knows he's going to make it, and he gets open there. We're getting to our spots. We're predetermining them, and this will let us create a level of flowing solos that sound articulate and professional and exquisite and all that, and we're going to be able to do it on the fly, and we're going to be able to do it while we're soloing. If you think about this being shape 4, and then this right here being the roots, minor 3rd, root 2nd, 3rd, 4th, then you always know, for example, over the 5 chord, you can hit the 4 note in shape 4. And that's probably a little over your head, but once you commit those ideas to memory, you really start to be able to do this in any key. So let's put this up and then let's jam a little bit, all right? Okay, so the first time around, we're just gonna hit that 8 and that 3, just those phrases. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're gonna try to improvise and land on them. on repeating that. There you have it. There is a ton of different ways you can practice with a backing track. Go Google backing track. Two of my favorites are Quist TV and Elevated Backing Tracks. Put them on. You can also go to my channel and search backing track or search 10 Thumbs backing tracks and then just jam to these ideas. They really will take your playing. If you do this consistently, you'll literally improve 100 times over. If it only improves your timing, it literally will improve 100 times over. So thank you very much for making it to the end. Rock and roll, everybody. 10 Thumbs Pro. I've been meaning to do this lesson for a long time, but I didn't really know where to start, and I'm happy that I just started. Once you get pen to paper, once you get the idea moving and flowing, these things tend to unfold a little easier. This stuff is huge, everybody. Find channels with backing tracks, practice them. Practice with the backing tracks on 10 Thumbs Pro. Create your own backing tracks with GarageBand, Reason, Ableton, these kind of programs. This is the fastest way to go from beginner to intermediate, pro, and really something that you can do to improve your playing tremendously. I really believe it. I use these tactics. This is how I practice in my free time. And after 10 years, I still think I get better every day. All right, everybody, have a lovely day. Catch you next Wednesday, next Saturday. Take care and rock and roll.